Hi there, my name is Jennifer, and I have two very important topics to talk about, and I couldn't decide how to title this video, so it's either how are we chosen? How is it that some people are chosen? And the other title that I had in my mind was when the past still hurts. So we're going to cover those two topics today. We're going to dive deep and we're going to uncover some truths. So I will first cover, I almost feel like I have to remind you all that there are scammers on my YouTube. There's people scamming my account. I don't want to spend time talking about that. Just know that I have one account. If someone replies, make sure that it's just my name, my photo, no characters added to my name. And you know what? I forgot to add my microphone. And I'm just going to keep going. So I hope that the volume is okay because I don't want to stop. We have to get past having to be perfect. But okay, let's just keep going. So I will not ask you for money on WhatsApp. I will not ask you to message me to help an orphanage. Okay? That is not me. Do not fall for that. Please report those accounts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, let's get into it. I get this question quite a bit. And what makes someone a chosen one? If you look at the prophet Isaiah, it clearly will explain it. And I just ran across this in a devotional book with a girlfriend of mine. We had a mini Bible study, and I was just so grateful to God because it confirmed everything that I had already been saying. And it's just so nice to get confirmation from the Lord when you've been saying things that they just felt right to me in my spirit. And so here it is. I will read, I have so much to share. I don't even know how and where to start. So let's just take a deep breath. Okay. The chosen ones are the ones that answer the call. There's no one special. No one is better than anyone else. And it irks me when I hear people say, well, there are tares of the earth, and there are, I feel like it almost has like a sense of arrogance, of being set apart, out of I'm good and they're bad. And I feel like it almost has like this feeling of comparison and dissension, like it creates division. But God is not a God of division. God is a God of unity and harmony and love and obedience. We have to worship obedience. That is like saying respect. He demands respect, like every good father. You wouldn't respect a father that didn't have boundaries and that didn't expect the best out of you. You would fall apart without boundaries. You would fall apart without having to respect someone. Does that make sense? So I'm going to read a little bit of the prophet Isaiah. And I was so happy to read this. The prophet Isaiah in chapter 6, God says, "Whom shall I send, and who will go for us?" And then Isaiah said, "Here I am, send me." And isn't that what the Lord does? Doesn't he call all of us? Doesn't he call so many? If you just simply think about God, if you simply even say, "I believe you, God," or even if you just say, if you even just acknowledge God, you know that he exists, but your connection to God, it's very distant. You have a very long distance relationship with God. You don't have a personal, close, intimate relationship with God. And all he wants for us is for us to make that decision, like the prophet Isaiah, to say, I am here, God. And it doesn't, there's so many modern day prophets walking on earth today, and that doesn't mean that they're famous and rich and renowned and on platforms. You could be a prophet right where you are. You could be a mechanic that prophesizes over other people. It's not about our spotlight. It's not about, well, I must not be a prophet because no one knows about me. No one knows of the prophecies that I say. That has nothing to do with the calling of God in your life. If you give God your heart and you say, you know what, God, I'm done having a long distance relationship with you. I want to have a really close, intimate relationship with you. And fasting is a spiritual way of connecting to the Lord. It's not weight loss. It's not for any other reason, but for you to die to self. That may sound very dramatic to some people, but if you have the ears to hear, if you know, some of you know what I'm talking about, and some other people may not know that, because I remember when I first came to the Lord, I was saying, I die and God lives within me. I die to self. I no longer live anymore. Some were like, oh gosh. And I would say, and I'm a nobody. I'm just a nobody, telling everybody about that somebody that saved my soul. I don't care for people to remember me. If they remember Jesus, that's all that I care. If people remember me as the Jesus girl, I'm good. My dream came true because I live for him. He's all that matters, truly, and he's alive today. And not everyone understands these words because they're so caught up in their anxiety and their depression, and they're looping in their mind and getting into bad relationship after bad relationship, being in a job that they actually hate, not having peace in their heart. That's not normal. But we have normalized that. The longer distance you have in your relationship with the Lord, the more that type of life is very close and intimate to you. And so it almost becomes this very unattainable type of relationship to have God be so close and intimate with you, because you are so distracted in the misery of your current life. You think that money is important. You think that whatever material thing in this world is important. Okay, let's just say it is important. Okay, I get it. I'm a human being too. It does matter. But when you make something else, anything else, more important than God, you have it all messed up. You have the order, you are completely out of order. That's why your life feels like a mess, because nothing is in the correct order. And when you do have things in the correct order, everything else just lines up. Just imagine it like a fan that just naturally opens up. Or that pearl, that clam, it just naturally opens up and you get the pearl. But you're living life like this, contracted, your energy is like this. But when you allow God to enter in your life, you expand. The clam, the pearl opens, and life is beautiful. You are a shining pearl. Your life feels amazing because you have things in the correct order. So the prophet Isaiah said, I'm here, God. I'm going to answer the call. I will be a chosen one because I will self-appoint myself to follow you. So don't let anyone make you feel like they are better than you if they call themselves a chosen one. That's arrogance. That's not of God. Arrogance is absolutely not of God. And I want to dive deep into the prophet Jeremiah. I've been really enjoying the book of Jeremiah, and I like to just dive deep and marinate in it and really figure out the context and the background. And I'm gonna kind of talk in circles here because I really want to say this other part, the other topic of when the past still hurts you. And then we're gonna dive into the Bible, okay? Here was a deep message that I felt the Lord tell me. I said, Lord, okay, first you have to understand, I cry a lot. I'm always with God, and I cry tears of joy, tears of gratitude, tears of sorrow. I open my heart up. Sometimes I'm crying in gratitude, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that you are spoiling me this way, Lord. Thank you. You're just so amazing. And then these are super happy tears. And then I have my other moments where I feel very deep pain and sorrow. And it's the past that I still process. And the Lord said, the past hurts you, my dear. You're still hurting. I'm so sorry that you're still hurting. Guess how much I hurt? If you hurt that badly, I was hurting even more. As your father, I couldn't take it anymore. I love you so much that it was breaking my heart. I couldn't stop crying. I had to save you. I had to get you out of that situation that was causing you pain. I couldn't see my little girl cry anymore. I couldn't watch my son cry anymore. I had to remove him from that situation, from that job, from those people, from that environment. No, absolutely not. You think I was just gonna sit there and take it and just watch you deteriorate and lose your soul and lose your hope? I had to remove you. I had to take you away. And I knew that it was gonna hurt you. I knew that it was gonna be so excruciatingly painful for you, but you have a hope with me. I'm gonna give you a future. I had to remove you from that situation because I know that if your right, rational mind thinks about the situation, you don't really want to go back, but there's something in the past that is unresolved for you. And I'm going to help you through it. Remember, healing takes time, my dear, he said. It takes time. Just remember when you have had a broken heart in the past. Let's just be logical here. How long does it take for someone to heal after heart surgery? This is like open heart surgery, for real. It was just an analogy that the Lord uses with me all the time. He uses different analogies and just different creative ways to get the message to me. He said, well, when your heart broken, you're like under open heart surgery. You were just cut open because it was a deep cut. It was a deep, deep, deep hurt. And I came in and I healed. I had to operate in you, remove you from the situation to keep you from harm, from your heart going back to being broken. I cannot allow you to be back in that environment. So I saw that your heart was very weak and you were about to die. So I took you out of that situation. I operated in you and I isolated you, and we are now healing together. You cannot go try to run a marathon right now, because what do you think is going to happen to your heart? You're going to probably die. You have to take it easy, my dear. You have to go slow. You have to trust me. Spend time with me while you are healing. That is why I tell you in the book of Matthew, I clearly came to earth, because Jesus is God in human form. I clearly came to earth to tell you that blessed are the brokenhearted, those that are in mourning, those that are in pain. Why are we blessed? Because the Lord is holding us. We feel his presence. He loves us so much. And there's beauty that comes after. But we can't sit with ourselves a lot of the times. We want to get up and run while we're still trying to heal. So we have to allow time to help us heal through past pain. It's not a quick fix. And that is part of why he tells us you need to crucify the flesh all the time, because the body and your mind is going to tell you the opposite of what the spirit is going to tell you. You have to spend so much time with me. And if you need to fast to really connect and have an intimate relationship with me so that you can hear me and I become strong, a strong, powerful truth voice within you, that you hear that more than you hear what the flesh wants, what the body wants, what the ego wants, the insecurities, the loneliness, the sadness. When you allow that to take over, you're losing connection with me. But if you draw close to me, I draw close to you. It's an automatic thing between us. But you have to make the choice. And I will strengthen you. I will strengthen you. You will become strong. Man, I wish I remembered that Bible verse. I just said it in like 2 videos ago or so. Okay. So when the past still hurts you, just think about it. You're not there anymore. There's a reason why it was in the past, and there's a reason why you are standing here today. We long for the past in certain ways because that's familiar. And even Tony Robbins says, the way to grow, and I'm not going to quote him exactly, he says something like, the way to live your dream life is you have to be uncomfortable and you have to be okay with the unknown. And you have to be okay with, really it's discomfort. It's the anxiety, slight anxiety, healthy amount of anxiety of what it requires to have faith and trust. Like, I don't know what's out there. I know if I go back, I already know what I'm gonna get. And the Lord saved me from that. That is why he was crying for me. I literally saw the Lord's face really upset and in complete disapproval. I do not approve of this. I did not approve of this one bit. I love you too much, my dear, to watch you deteriorate. No more. And okay, you're upset, but we're gonna be okay. Just stay close to me. I have the medicine for you. So that was the message of when the past still hurts you. You have to understand that God is doing his works for your good. He's got way better for you in the future. So now I'm going to dive into the book of Jeremiah. And as y'all know, I love to write all over my Bible and highlighters. And we'll see how much I can show you all because my camera gets a little blurry. So this is my, first of all, this is my woman's study Bible. I love it so much. It's been so good to me. And I have annotated right there. I don't know if you can see. I had to annotate and really do some research on a little bit of the background of who Jeremiah is, because if I don't understand what I'm reading, and I don't have visual pictures or like people in my mind to who is Jeremiah and why does he even matter, and what was his theme, what was his message, then I'm just gonna be reading without understanding. So Jeremiah was a prophet as well, and he very much reminds me of him wanting to be a chosen one. He decided that he was going to answer the call, and his main message, Jeremiah's main message was to call people to repent, and as a reminder, hey, you better get your life straight, because God, he's an angry God too. Because he loves us so much that he is a very strict father too. He's a very compassionate, loving father, but he will come and, God has judgment. Judgment is not ours, it's his. So it's a reminder of God's judgment and those who turn away from him. He warns us, doesn't he? Hey, nope. You're starting to watch what you shouldn't be watching anymore. You're going to start binge eating again. You're going to start drinking alcohol again. He's not going to let you get away with it. He's going to start to pull at you. Hey, listen to me. I love you. You're going down the wrong path. You're starting to listen to not my voice, but you're starting to bow down to the evil one. I don't want that for you. You're going to get destroyed. I love you too much to allow that to happen to you. So that is who Jeremiah, what he came to teach us. And Jeremiah did not get married, did not have children. He stayed single for all of his life, and he was a regular man, and he was a person with a complex personality, and he experienced everything we do: fear, despair, joy, praise. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. So then I was like, well, if Jeremiah came to give us the message to call us to repentance and remind us of God's judgment, who did he have to, who was the antagonist per se in this? So it was Judah. So because I read here that Jeremiah was like super worried about Judah's sin. And I was like, why the heck did he even care about Judah? Like, who is this Judah that defined Jeremiah's entire life? Well, Judah is the fourth son of Jacob and Leah. And Judah was the founder of the tribe called Tribe of Judah. And Judah is a descendant of Abraham, whose descendant is of God's promise to make a great nation. So you guys remember Joseph, how Joseph's brothers sold him to slaves, and they betrayed him. They were terrible to Joseph. The youngest brother, was it 10 brothers? 20 brothers? 10. Leave it in the comments, please. So Judah was the fourth son, and he had a lot to do with murdering or like selling his youngest son to the slaves away. Okay, so let's get back on track. Let's dive into Jeremiah. So as you can see, my brain understands everything with colors. Okay, the call of Jeremiah. And I want you to think about it this way. As you listen to me read the scripture, I want you to ask yourself, how is this relatable to my life? Okay. The call of Jeremiah. So this is Jeremiah 1:4. The word of the Lord came to me, saying, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. Alas, sovereign Lord, I said, this is Jeremiah speaking, I do not know how to speak. I am too young. But the Lord said to me, do not say I am too young. You must go to everyone I send you to and say whatever I command you. Do not be afraid of them, for I am with you and I will rescue you, declares the Lord. And then the Lord reached out his hand and touched my mouth and said to me, I have put my words in your mouth. See, today I appoint you over nations and kingdoms to uproot and tear down, to destroy and overthrow, to build and to plant. He said, the Lord said to Jeremiah, you need to believe in yourself. Don't tell me that you're too young. There's nothing wrong with you. You are my perfect person to work through. I am going to put my words. He reached out his hand and he touched my mouth and he said, I have put my words in your mouth. This is how the Lord works. We're just his vessel. The prophets aren't these special people, famous people. Oh my goodness. No, God said, I see the clean vessel in you. I trust you. I love you. Do you trust me and do you love me? Do you choose me as well? And if you do, then I'm going to be able to work through you. I'm going to be able to speak through you and shine through you. You love me that much, I can use you to help other people, because that is what we're here for. If you haven't found your purpose yet, then your purpose is yourself. You have to figure yourself out. Are you helping people? Are you serving God? Because going to a 9-to-5 job or whatever it is that you do, that's just what you do. But that's not your purpose. Your purpose is to be a vessel for the Lord, wherever he places you. So if the Lord places a desire in your heart for you to be a hairstylist, okay, so that's what you do. That's the environment where you're gonna fish the people for the Lord. I hope this makes sense, and I hope that this video has served you. I would love to know your thoughts. If you could leave a comment in this video. I want to know what you think about these prophets and what you think about being a chosen one. And if you have experienced anyone's like trying to tell you that you're not a chosen one, but you have answered the call. Here's the other thing too. We're going to get a lot of criticism. It says it in the Bible that people are going to scoff at you. They're going to mock you. They're going to think you're crazy. They're going to think you lost your mind. But that's okay, because they are in the world. They're on the wide road living for themselves. All they do is selfish. They're selfish. It's all about me, 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 what I want. And they're living in fear. And we have to pray for these people. We have to pray for the people that are still on that wide path. And that is absolutely what the Lord wants us to do. And he doesn't want us to harbor any hate in our heart. And any ugly feelings that you have in your heart, okay, so you have them. What are you going to do about them? Take them to God. And don't let them overtake your life, because that's when you start to lie to yourself, man, that's the worst thing you can do. When you lie to yourself and you tell yourself that you're okay, but you're really not, what do you end up doing? You end up stuffing your emotions. That's how addictions begin. Be completely honest with yourself. Hey, that bothered me. And clean and purify with the Lord. Go vent with God and go and ask God to bring you the people that you feel that you can have that intimate relationship with. Like, I have a girlfriend. We confess stuff to each other all the time. Like, hey girl, I was fasting and man, this dark side of me came out. And man, I had no idea that I was still feeling that way, or that I had that, acts of the flesh, whatever. And we're just listen. We just listen to each other, because we both invite the Holy Spirit to reside in us. There's absolutely no judgment. It tells us in the book of truth, the Bible tells us you must confess your sins. You must get it out. And if you don't feel comfortable confessing it to someone else, confess it to me, God says. Tell me. Because you're acknowledging to God that you are flawed, and that you're able to be truthful and honest with yourself. You're not lying anymore. You're not pretending that, you're not minimizing the things that you've been doing that are wrong. Just be honest with yourself. Say, okay, I messed up and I really want to clear this up. But it's not as easy as that, right? It takes a lot of courage to really be honest with ourselves. I make it sound so easy, but don't be afraid to feel uncomfortable. Don't be afraid to feel rejected, guilty. All of those yuck emotions, just go with it. Just go with it. Be strong. Be courageous. Say, all right, I'm gonna go one-on-one with these feelings. All right, I feel rejected right now. Okay, that's just where I'm at right now. Okay, I'm uncomfortable, and guess what? Within 24 to 36 hours, you're not gonna feel like that anymore. It's when you prolong that feeling, where, not prolong it, but like you shove it under the rug, it's still gonna creep up. It's gonna leak out from time to time until you actually sit with the monster and look at the monster in the eyes, in the face. Say, you know what? I'm not afraid of you. Rejection. I'm not afraid of you. Feel worthlessness. And now what? This is how I talk to my emotions sometimes. Maybe not exactly this way, but I tell I almost split in two, where I'm watching myself and I'm talking to God. Hey God, check Jen out. Right now she ain't feeling good, but I'm so connected to you that I can stand back, disconnect from my humanness. And you know when this happens? When you fast. When you fast, you can really you clear up that connection with the Lord. That frequency is crystal clear. It's like tuning in to the FM radio. When you have God distance, it's like the AM radio. It's all staticky and you can kind of hear, you're not real sure what he's saying. It's real frustrating. But when you start to fast, when you do a spiritual fast, not a weight loss fast, and you say, you know what, God, I'm going to do this fast because I'm going to die to self and I want to be united with you. I want to have an intimate relationship with you. I want to hear you loud and clear. I need you to show me who I am, because my desire is to please you and to do right by you, because I trust you. Because if I have my life with you, then everything else is just going to work itself out. I'm not going to have to try so hard. I'm not going to have to try to control stuff anymore. I'm just going to give it to you. You're going to teach me how to trust you and give you my troubles. And just let's say, you know what, God, I don't know what to do with the situation. Or this feeling of feeling rejected, unseen, unheard, worthless. I'm able to sit with it, but I'm also able to stand back and watch it with you. And you minister to me, Lord. When I'm in fasting, I see what you're doing. You're ministering to me. Obviously, I'm having a conversation. That's just how I am with God. I have a real, true conversation with God. It's not fancy words, or it's like I'm just talking to a regular person, because he's so real. So you have to talk to him as if he's real. And I see what the Lord does when you go into fasting. It doesn't say if you fast. In the Bible, it doesn't say if you fast. It's when you fast. He expects us. Why? Because he wants us to tune in to his frequency, to his consciousness, to the things that he wants to work in you. I have this thing for you, my dear, but you're so far away from me. I'm waiting for you. Please, come on. Do what you got to do. And that's what I realize, is that I'm able to like be standing right next to him and watching myself. But when I'm stuffing my life with worry, or I'm stuffing my life with food, sweets, trying because I can't handle my emotions, then that's when I start to get clogged up, and the transmitter is all fuzzy with God. So it's when you do a fast, or you know, it's to communicate deeper and closer with the Lord, and everything just kind of sort of becomes more clear. But he's also going to show you stuff that is not pretty to look at about yourself. And I encourage you to just sit with those uncomfortable feelings. Cry, 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 cry is what I tell myself, because afterwards I'm like, I released it. I'm good. I've been set free, because now I have clarity of the situation, because I allowed myself to fully be an expression of that pain. And in that pain is the message. But if I keep stuffing it or lying to myself, God can never reveal the message to me through the pain. And then I don't feel the pain anymore. So it's going through the uncomfortableness, and stop numbing out with alcohol, bad relationships, trying to win the approval of other people, buying yourself stuff. What do they call those? Shopaholics. Don't be a shopaholic. Don't overdo it at the gym to escape. Don't do anything to escape from yourself. Because if you're escaping from yourself, you're also escaping from God. I hope this video served you, and God bless you. Bye. See you later.